Today, I would like to talk to you about safe winter weather driving tips. We all drive during the winter, and so if we can all be safe, that would be better for everybody. I have been a professional truck driver for over 10 years, so I've seen and been involved with one or two weather driving incidents, let's call them. So I've seen a lot, I've done a lot, and made mistakes and not made mistakes, so I want to help everybody be safe. Okay, so some people don't drive safely in the winter. Why? Well, you're in a hurry maybe, or you don't know any better, or you just don't care about the other people around you. This is what I usually find. I'm more important than you are, so I'm going to drive fast. It doesn't matter, there's 4 inches of ice on the ground and it's snowing. And that's dangerous, so we shouldn't do that. If all drivers learn to drive safely, everyone on the road will arrive safely at their intended destination, not a side destination like the hospital. So if we all drive safely, everybody goes home safe. So my first point is weather driving can be very dangerous. People either drive too slow, I've noticed, or too fast, and both are equally as dangerous. So we need to find the right speed. When you're driving your car or driving too fast, it's dangerous during weather because you can't stop. And if you drive too slow, then you're making people coming up behind you stop, and then they can't, and then they run into you. So for cars, I usually say follow a truck. If you can, just get behind the truck. They know what they're doing usually, and you won't be getting in their way. And usually it's car versus truck is what accidents happen. Excuse me. So now that we've covered the proper speed, let's move on to equipment. Now there is certain equipment that you should carry during winter driving. If you're going to know you're going to be in the snow, you should carry chains. Even 4-wheel drive trucks and cars, all-wheel drive still can put chains on if it gets bad enough. And I've seen it bad enough that even 4-wheel drive trucks couldn't get through. So what is the proper equipment? You should always carry chains. You should always carry water and food. I've been stuck on I-84 for hours, literally, and I had food and water because I have a cooler, and these cars have nothing because I'm just going to run up to the next town and be done in a half hour. And I'm giving out water to the cars because they don't have anything to drink. And so we need to carry water, and a jacket is always nice. You say, oh, well, I have my heater. Well, not when you wreck your car and the engine doesn't work, which also happened to me. So it gets very cold. Okay, driving a whole high-profile vehicle on a very windy bridge is not smart, and we're going to show you a video to show that. So even your cars and SUVs, when they get high off the ground and the wind starts to play with it, it can have rollover damage or rollover danger, excuse me. So even in your car, you're not safe. When chains are required, make certain that you're putting them on properly. Always chain the drive axle. What does that mean? The axle that has power to it. On a front-wheel drive car, don't chain the rear axle, which I've seen done, or vice versa. It does nothing for you. You just become more of a danger, because then you think you're chained and you're not, and just all over the place, and then you're going to get into a wreck. So know what you're doing. Check to see your axle, correct axle. So after we've covered equipment, let's move on to checking the weather. Now I've learned the hard way to check the weather ahead of your route. You know you're going from here to there. Why don't we see what's going on the road in between there, and you can properly prepare. There are many different ways to check the weather and road conditions before you leave your home. The state website that you're traveling in is a very good resource. In Oregon, I travel in Oregon a lot. It's called Trip Check. And you can check every road, and it gives you road conditions current, it gives you a forecast, it gives you if there's any construction, anything. And every state has their own DOT website that gives you that information. It's very easy to find. Knowing what in front of you is always a great help. If you know what to expect, you can plan properly. And I found a site on the OSHA website that actually agreed with me. It's called Planning Your Route. Allow plenty of time. Check the weather before you leave. If you have to, leave early. You know it's snowing? You know you're going to be slowing down for the snow? Leave an hour early. Then you're not in a rush when you hit the weather. And then you can still get your destination on time. Be familiar with the map's directions of your route. You know, look at a map of your route. Know kind of in your head where you're going. So when you get there and the signs are covered with snow, you know, oh, I still have an hour to get there. I don't need to worry. I'm not freaked out about where I am. I know about where I'm going to be going. Let others know your route and your arrival time. Some people driving by themselves, drive all night to see a loved one, don't tell anybody, pull off the, slide off the road into a ditch, and nobody knows they're there. It's night, the lights on, and they get found 4 days later as a person's cold, right? So that's not cool. Let somebody know what you're doing. So we've covered being prepared. I want to conclude. Today I've covered the dangers of winter driving. My points are, you need to drive the proper speed for the conditions. Like I said before, get it behind a big truck and match the speed. I notice a lot in the fog, cars do this. It drives me crazy. They'll get behind me when it's foggy, because I'm a big vehicle, I have nice headlights, I see where I'm going, and then it'll clear, and they'll jet around me, and I'll hit another fog bank, and then they'll slow back down and get back behind me. Just stay behind me. I'm going as fast as I can go. And then everybody's safe. Then I'm not worried about you trying to get around you. People are uninformed, unskilled, or just don't care about anyone else, so we need to be informed about our route and care about the other people around you. If you get home safe, everybody gets home safe. Be prepared. Pack the correct clothes, snow chains, and check your route before you leave. So I want to give you a little picture. This is what happens when you don't drive safe on I-84 on January 17th. This guy was not paying attention and ran into the truck behind me, and they actually had to get the jaws of life out to extricate a guy in the sleeper berth, and the driver went to the hospital. This is the hood, and that's the front wheel, and that was the tractor on tractor trailer. This is the guy that started it. He clipped a FedEx truck and then ended up spinning out and hitting the guardrail and hitting another truck. And this is what happens when it's icy, you're not paying attention, and you're inexperienced. Because normally, 9 times out of 10, if it's a swift truck involved, it's a new driver and they just don't know what they're doing. So here's my video on high profile vehicles. I need to go into a different I knew what I was doing before. Okay, you know what? We're not going to watch the video. I'm sorry. Here's a video. It's on... Is it going to work? This is a local guy in Twin Falls. Can you see that? No.
Not a good day.
No. So, this is what I talk about the height. Well, I'm sorry, but ends up. Oh, that didn't get it. So that was a tractor trailer that did not heed warnings that the Twin Falls bridges, both of them, were closed that day, and decided to risk it.